clean and repair leaky pipes, bathroom fixtures, and water heaters. They also provide excavation and repair of water and sewer lines, serving both residential and commercial properties. The one-time plumber office is located at 509 South Bingham Highway, and their number is 928-267-3011.
And thank you to One Time Plumber for sponsoring our KRIM Community Spotlight Program. Good morning, Rim Country. Chris Higgins in the studio. Hope you're having a great Thursday morning. Had to think about that for a second. And as we like to call it here, Friday Eve. Hope you're having a great Friday Eve so far. This morning we are going to be talking with hopefully a few people from Payson Unified School District. In the studio we have Katrina Sacco.
Sacco, yeah.
Sacco and Audrey Bailey. Good morning, Audra.
Audra, thanks for having us.
Oh, thank you so much for coming in. Going to be talking today just about the new school year, just how everything is going so far, all of the programs or different programs, and then also recognizing different organizations, businesses in the community that are supporters of the Payson Unified School District. So I think, where do we want to start? Talking about the school district, brand new year. It's always, I think, exciting. The kids coming in, teachers and staff coming back. Probably exciting, a little chaotic as well, probably.
Yeah, you nailed it. Yes, I always say it's my favorite time of year, but and it is, but it is also really a lot. So a lot of educators are really ready for the weekend at this point of the week. Not me, of course.
Yeah. Well, I can see where. I could see where it would be. I don't know if I want to use the word fun, but as far as just all the hustle and bustle, the excitement, activity, everything going on. And I know people that like challenges or like to get things in order. Well, there's probably a lot of opportunities for that. So, beginning of the year figuring, okay, we need to figure this out, get this resolved, but then once you get it all going, it's just working smooth and like it should.
Fresh start, new goals, excitement. We're ready to get kids to where we want them to be.
Yeah.
You never quite know till the kids show up how many are going to be there. That's
true.
pretty hard to deal with. But
yeah. So the enrollment this year, I see. What is the number there?
We're at about almost 2,200, which is about, it's fairly static. I think it's about 60 to 80 less than we had last year. So
Gotcha.
We've got about 350 employees servicing those students. So we are the largest employer in Payson. We have a couple of small changes. A big change for second grade. Last year we had 2 of our second grade classes over at Julia Randall Elementary. This year they're over at Payson Elementary School. I think that's the only really big programmatic change.
And something that I'm always, I know it would be challenging or I think fun to work on transportation or to get transportation assigned or figured out.
well, we are hiring, so if you are looking for a bus driver experience.
There we go. Good plug, Audra. Everyone listening and watching, if you've ever wanted to be a bus driver, head on down.
Yeah, paraprofessionals too.
Okay. But yeah, because, collecting the kids, picking up the kids, all over the school district.
Yep.
It's not just the town,
Right.
but the entire school district.
Right. We go all the way out to Colcord Road and up to Strawberry.
Down to Tonto Basin
Tonto
for our high
Basin.
school students
So
as well.
Wow. So yeah, that's just a lot of planning, a lot of miles too on the buses.
A lot of miles.
Yeah, so teachers, going back to teachers, how many teachers are in the school?
We have 133 teachers.
Okay, and you said there are some openings, and people should check the website. What is the website if they wanted to see?
KUSD10.org, and under our Human Resources page, there's a listing of all the openings, and you can also sign up to get notifications of openings. And right now we have several openings, from office staff to bus drivers, paraprofessionals, which is a fancy word for teacher's aide. We have, we offer insurance that's free to the employee on a full-time position. And a full-time position is 29 hours a week. They can have insurance, and they get all the holidays and summers off.
And the 4-day school week.
And the 4-day school week.
4-day school week, which it sounds like, from everything I've seen and read over the years, it's been working very well.
Yeah, we obviously going into it, we had reservations, excitement about it. A lot of people really wanted to move forward with it, and we sort of thought of it as, I would consider a trial. What we have found is that families actually really love the 4-day school week. It's a wonderful time for families to be able to spend together on Fridays, and also we try to get families to schedule their appointments on Fridays. So a lot of people living in Payson have appointments in the Valley, and it just makes it much more workable for many of our families, which is has been a really neat thing to observe.
And so that, being first and foremost, it seems to be working for maybe not every family, but majority of families. The response that you have received confirms that. But also the staff and teachers, that's a big plus and also a draw, isn't it?
That was our original logic for moving to the 4-day, was to attract teachers. And I'm pretty excited to say that this year we're in the best staffing situation we've been in a very long time.
Wow.
So we feel that may be working for us. We currently don't have any teaching positions open, with the exception of a preschool position that we may be opening another preschool classroom, depending on the need of the community. But that's not necessarily an open position. We started the school year fully staffed with teachers. Yeah.
As a first. And the kids don't suffer on the hours of instruction. That's the other thing. I think there's a misconception that but the kids get all of their instructional hours that are required.
No, and that I think is important to note, because I have heard that, they need 5 days, they need the 5 days. They're doing the same number of hours in 4 days. So no, they don't need that 5th day. And for students that do, that need tutoring or need some assistance, that's available on that Friday, correct?
Sometimes at the high school, our AVID classes and Gear Up last year was doing tutoring on Fridays, or sometimes it will occur after school.
Okay.
We also have a lot of options for additional help for our students, definitely. We also have a K-5 Friday program that's a partnership with the town as well. It's housed at Julia Randall Elementary, and Tracy Franson is our director of Friday programming for PUSD, and we work really closely with Justin and Jeff at Parks and Rec.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's great. Something else that the school district has seen, and I believe on the high school campus, the updated Longhorn gymnasium, but also RCMS gymnasium, that got upgraded as well?
That's right. We had many organizations from within the town came and offered their help. Banner helped to put the floor in the dome. No, in the dome. In the gym.
Yeah, in the dome.
In the dome, sorry.
Oh, no.
I work in finance. I'm not in facilities.
No.
Yes, there were many community members that were instrumental in.
Yeah, and I was looking at that and I was thinking, actually I got confused with RCMS and the old gym, the Longhorn gym. So all of the gymnasium floors now have been redone.
Yeah.
Which is great. I know in the Longhorn gym, which is some people call it the old gym up at the high school, RVN3 was big in that, and it's actually, I think, the Bubba Nielsen floor, and they have his name on there. Keith Family Flooring was the one that put that in, and MSA, as you said, Muggen Sporting Association, big with that. So it's great to see the participation from all of these organizations and businesses.
And Chapman Auto Center were instrumental in helping us get the new scoreboards in the dome.
Oh, that's
and those
great.
are amazing.
They are. It's very nice to have the scoreboards on each end instead of just having the chandelier looking up there. And I know the chandeliers kind of was seeing better days because it was a little glitchy. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. Just like the football scoreboard
Right,
at the stadium.
they were instrumental in giving us, helping with the scoreboards at the football stadium and the baseball field.
Wow, that's great. So
We couldn't do it without all of the community support.
yeah, and there's also another program then that MSA has been instrumental in helping out with at the school district, right?
That's right. We have I would call it a revamped preschool. We were servicing a few years ago only our students with special needs plus maybe 2 peers per class. And a team of people, which included both Audra and myself, kind of met to decide that we really wanted to move forward with more expansive preschool options for the community. So this is our 3rd year of having a fully integrated general education and special education preschool. 2 classrooms are located up on Westerly Street, and one of them is at Julia Randall Elementary. This year we heard the need for a full-day preschool, so we have a full-day preschool at Julia Randall. And MSA was generous enough to offer $20,000 to reduce tuition costs for families.
Wow.
And then somebody, a generous donor in the community, heard about that and actually donated an additional $1,000, which I thought was really heartwarming as well.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that was great. No, that it is. It's great to see, again, just the different organizations. And the organizations, when we talk about these organizations, it isn't like they're this large, national or international organization. They're made up of residents in the community that serve, give their time, do fundraisers, go after grants,
Teacher appreciation, we have a lot of outreach in the community wanting to give back to the teachers. We have Bay Equity always does like a free thing, turkeys for teachers.
turkeys, yeah.
They do that twice a year. We've had Backwoods Bar and Grill and Four Peaks Brewery did a back to school night for the teachers to come and
MHA has also supported us
MHA.
in
Yeah.
with very large numbers at times, mostly with training for
Training,
teachers. Well, at least mostly in my world. Right now, that's what's on my mind. They support our AVID programming, which is College and Career Readiness Framework and classes. Pretty remarkable that support they offer.
So, let's see, also safety, the safety and security at the school, that's been something that has been, I know, part of the planning or a lot of attention has been given to that by the school district.
it's been a multi-year project. It's not as easy as just, putting some buttons on the door. There's been a lot to it, but we are all at this point, what we're working towards is a single point of entry at every campus. And being able to buzz people in and have cameras and really, limit those accesses. And we, I would say we're probably maybe 75% there, maybe 50 to 75%.
We're also having a principals kind of series of meetings this year that will explicitly focus on safety and security for our campuses. So we'll come together. I think it's on the calendar for 5 or 6 times just to talk about that, to continue improving. We require IVP fingerprint cards for all of our employees, which is a step above what is actually required. The state requires teachers and direct service providers as well as transportation employees to have the IVP. We require it of everybody who's going to work in our system. So we're pretty serious about making sure that we have safe people, having great relationships with our kids. And we also provide training for all staff yearly and during onboarding for their mandatory reporting requirements. So we are required to report to DCS if there's any sort of neglect or abuse, or we have reasonable suspicion that that may be true.
So, yeah, I think, as with so many things, it's easy for people to assume, oh, it's easy, just do this.
Right.
And when you're integrating something into your organization or business, it's never just real simple. There's always things that maybe you didn't account for or need to be figured out. So it is definitely a process.
Sure.
And our schools were built many years ago, so there was a lot of crawling in the attics and running wire.
Well, at PES, I'd imagine, oh my goodness, that's probably, is that the oldest facility?
No.
I think PES
At this
because.
point, yes, probably.
Yeah, other than like the original, like
Right.
JRE.
The district
The
office
district
is
office.
where we work.
Yeah, but as far as the schools go, I think that is, the oldest one, so I'd imagine, with wiring and all of that, it would be a little more challenging than, say, at JRE.
JRE is probably the model school, because there's a single point of entry, very few access points, the kids are all enclosed.
Yeah.
you know.
Well, and that one, you don't have all of the facilities like you have at the middle school or the high school, where I think as long as, all the gates, closed, but the middle school, I know you have to go through the office now, and, everything else is locked up around there. And then the high school, the same way, I know visiting, or going to the high school, you go to the door and the administrative assistant, whoever's in the front, buzzing you in and letting you in.
It's not maybe like the old days, but it's what's safe for the kids.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, and that's number one priority.
Number one priority.
Yeah. So, how about we talk dollars, numbers, budget?
Budget.
Audra. Yeah,
Sure.
because that's your area of expertise, right? What you do.
Yes, budget and finance.
All right.
So schools, we're funded through a formula. It's a dollar amount per student, and then we get additional funding for special ed students. But the formula generates for this last year, it generates 18 million for the school. And that sounds like a lot, but 85% of that goes to our salaries and benefits. And then whatever's left is what we have to take care of, all of the other needs of the district, the facilities. And we do carry over a small amount of money from the prior year that is like a savings for a rainy day, contingency fund. And with that, we also have the override, which is a 10% additional funding opportunity that school districts have that helps to pay for the above and beyond programs that we have. Pays for dual enrollment, it pays for art, PE, music, all of the things that really make our school special. We're able to fund those things it funds 24 positions at the district, and they're all related to these above and beyond programs that are vital, teaching positions. None of it goes to pay for administrative costs.
Gotcha.
We will be having it will be on the November ballot. And it comes up for renewal every 7 years, and so this is our year to renew.
Now, what about audits? Do you receive audits?
We are audited several times throughout the year, state, federal. We have internal audit. Every year, we've had clean audits for many years. We've won many awards going for like 30 years in a row of excellence in finance. And with that comes, we do have an outstanding bond that we went out for many years ago to pay for the Julia Randall School, was mostly what that paid for. And we were able to, because of our good audit, our clean audits and our financial position, we were able to renegotiate some balances on those bonds and refinance them, and it saved the taxpayers $464,000
Wow.
in the repayment of those bonds.
Mm-hmm. No, that's great, and I think listening to some bond consultants, that's what happens majority of the time, where a school district, a municipality, they go out for a bond at some point. They do refinance that to help
Yes.
bring the overall cost down.
That's correct, and we have a Moody's rating of AA2, which is the highest that a school district can receive. And that's based on our audits, and that there has been no findings or audits problems for many years.
No, that's great. And so I know the high school last year, was it, received the A+ rating? And school, I guess, district-wide, what is the rating of the district?
So our school district is currently rated as a B, with the high school has an A, and that's the letter grade from the state of Arizona. The A+ School of Excellence Award comes from the Arizona Community Foundation. It's quite difficult to achieve. It's a very intense process. The team at PHS did a great job getting their application in and really showcasing the wonderful things that are going on over there. Especially Jeff Simon and Brian Young worked most on the application. With the state letter grade, the accountability grades, it's based on a formula that the State Board of Education approves each year. So we have a K-8 model and a high school model. The K-8 model is it's 90% student achievement scores, so state assessment results, which is, it brings up a lot of different feelings for a lot of different people, how we want to look at a child and how we want to measure success. But this is the way that we are rated from the state. I personally believe that children are much more than a test score.
Yes.
But luckily the state at least included a large growth component. So they do measure scores from the prior year to the current year, and then look at proficiency as well. And then there's a couple of other kind of pieces to that in the K-8 model. We look at different subgroup improvement and the proficiency rates of our language learners, which is a growing population in Payson to a certain extent. We successfully exited 19 of our language learners last year, so we're actually down in language learners because they're not language learners anymore. So we did a good job getting them out of that category. At the high school level, they actually received an A last year from the state. And we did have to go back and appeal it because they had calculated our graduation rates incorrectly when we reincorporated PCS into PHS, because it's now all one school rather than two different schools on the back end. But the high school model has growth and proficiency of state assessments. That's the ACT test score. But they also include what's called the CCRI, which is College and Career Readiness Indicators, which I really love because it means that we get points for kids who take CTE courses. We've got great vocational programming. It's kids who fulfill university entry requirements, kids who graduate and join the service, students who fulfill volunteer opportunities. It just kind of really opens up things and really gets closer to the reason I'm in this business,
It sounds like that creates a better opportunity, or it does a better job at measuring or gauging students where they're at more completely than just the test score.
Absolutely.
So that was College and Career Readiness, CCR?
Yes, College and Career Readiness Indicators.
Indicators. Yeah, that's big for us because I know throughout the school year I'll have different CTE program instructors and students in, and it's amazing the experience they're getting, everything they're doing locally, in competitions, regionally,
Nationally.
and for that, if it wasn't, it sounds like if it wasn't for those CCRI, then it wouldn't be factored in at all.
Right, absolutely.
Which-
I mean, some of those kids might also be performing well on state assessments, you know, I mean,
Mhm.
every kid is different, but yes, we want to honor that. Not everybody will do well on state assessments.
Yes.
However, we do want our kids to have the skills that they need to be successful in any environment in the future.
Mm-hmm. So what about, you mentioned rates, how about graduation rate, dropout rates?
Yeah,
What does it look like?
Our graduation rate it's been improving each year, and it's just over 82% for this last year.
Mhm.
Data's starting to trickle in from last year for our new letter grades, which will be announced in November.
Mhm.
And I'm pretty excited. What it's looking like right now is that we got full points for graduation rate. So that means that we're outperforming many school districts in the state, which
Wow.
is, it's a big deal. You know, we're
Yes.
working really hard on that. And
Mhm.
a lot of kids are benefiting.
No, that's great. I know another thing, being at graduation, and I've been live streaming the graduations for a few years now, and seeing and hearing all of the scholarships that our students receive. It's very impressive.
It's very impressive.
Yeah, so I don't know if that gets factored in at all somehow, but that to me is an indicator that these students are working very hard, teachers are doing a great job, you know, with the students, parents, I mean, just everyone, that there's a lot of support for our students, and they're taking advantage of it, and they're really going after these scholarships.
Yep, it's pretty great.
It is.
Another way that families, so obviously scholarships save families money on college,
Mhm.
so do our dual enrollment programs. So our dual
Oh.
enrollment programs,
Mhm.
many students graduate with an associate's degree or well on their way to certification or have certifications in a variety of areas, which is pretty exciting.
No, it is. I know, yeah, you want to talk about that a little bit. I know my son actually is in the AVID and just, you know, loves that. I think this year he has one or two classes that are, you know, a dual enrollment. He's excited about that. But there are so many opportunities. And then NAVID with Aspire,
Aspire.
Arizona Foundation.
You know, Aspire pays for all of the costs at the college
Mhm.
that the kids would incur normally,
Mhm.
and then we pay for the teaching
Mhm.
positions.
We use the override
Yes.
funding to pay for the teaching positions for those classes. And then we also have CTE courses which have college credit. So we have advanced math, advanced science, advanced English, and then we also have CTE courses where students can receive college credit.
Mhm. I know, again, talking to students that have come in that are part of that program, and they say one of the things, just the experience or exposure to the college courses helps so much, especially if they are going on to college. They don't feel as intimidated. They have some college credits, they've taken those courses, so they feel they're much better prepared than if they hadn't done that.
Yeah, that's so great to hear. That's definitely one of the AVID, which is, as I said, a college and career readiness framework. At the secondary level, it's an elective course as well. So there's a school-wide kind of ideas that we're trying to incorporate through all of our classes, and then there's a specific elective. And when we talk about college credit from the AVID lens, I'm the district director for AVID, and that really is like the mission from AVID throughout all of their materials and training is get kids access and get them to feel comfortable, and then they likely will realize that they're capable of so much more than they thought they initially were.
I heard middle school, they take kids to college for tours, and the more times they step foot on the campus, the less they feel intimidated, and they can see themselves actually going to college. And that starts at middle school, so
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Yeah, it actually really, the field trips start at middle school, but we participate in AVID from kindergarten, well, preschool on up. If you go through PES, you'll see college pendants, you'll see artwork with different college logos and projects which talk about career readiness, things of that nature as well. So,
and it's great. I also know, and some students have shared, where they will go, they're in the CTE programs, and they'll go talk to middle school students about the different CTE courses to maybe get them interested or excited about those courses. So it's really great that there are so many opportunities that
Yes.
are presented to our students, whether it's college, that's the route they want to go, whether it's a career and getting actual experience through CTE courses, or doing both.
Military.
Doing both, the military, yeah. So it is really wonderful.
I would like to share that we had a recent announcement from our high school trades, construction and trades teacher. We have a 12th grade student named
Chris Harrell.
Chris Harrell.
Yeah.
He announced to us that his student Katie Hughes, who I
Yeah.
believe is a 12th grader,
Uh-huh.
she is she's on the Skills USA National Board. So we're representing across the country as well at this point.
I know, she was just on, was it earlier this week? I think Monday.
Cool.
Her and Kate and Chris were on the radio, and yeah, it's amazing. She's been, first time Chris brought her in on our Longhorn Spotlight was when she was a sophomore. And that was her goal. Her
Oh.
goal was to become a national officer, and she became a state officer. And then, that was announced at the last national conference in Georgia. And her family was there with her parents, and it just sounded like it was amazing
So
for her.
cool.
Yeah, to be elected as a national officer. From Payson.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, Payson High School, and yeah, it's great. So she's really looking forward to the school year. She said she gets to travel and speak, to different at different schools, to different organizations, and then in June, I think, is when the national conference is. She'll be there as a national officer. And she was excited. She said, "Oh, I can't wait to speak there." There's like 8,000 students.
Wow.
And she said, "Oh, I can't wait. We get to speak in front of everyone and present." I'm like, wow. Yeah, I know.
My
And
worst
she's-
nightmare.
and she, can't wait for it. So
Good for her.
I know. So it is amazing. And that's what is really, I think, very important for us to highlight and recognize just all of the amazing accomplishments of the young people in our schools, in our community, just all of the great things that they're doing. And that is made possible, or I think a big part of that is the teachers, the staff, everybody at the school district that plays a part in the development and just being there, encouraging, supporting our young people. It makes a difference. And organizations in the community and businesses. There's so much support that, talking to young people over the years, they feel that. They feel that, and it encourages them, it motivates them, and as you said, Katrina, it gives them that confidence.
Yeah.
That confidence that, hey, I can do this, and this is possible, and people believe in me. And that's what really makes the difference. So, well, anything else you would like to add? Because it's actually over a half an hour. It's so easy to talk, especially about, for me, and I know probably for both of you as well, I can tell you're very passionate about, what you do and your work with the school district, but to talk about all the great things that are happening.
There's so many great things.
I know. We could talk, this, the outline, we could talk for another half an hour, very easily about other programs, other things that are happening, but, and that's a good thing.
It's a
So,
good thing.
yes.
Many great things going on, and what a wonderful community we have.
Yes, definitely. Well, thank you so much for coming on this morning, and thank you everyone for listening and watching. Time to get back to the music here on KRIM with some Bob Dylan, Moody Blues, Pink Floyd, and more. But first, let's get a quick update from the National Weather Service.
Thanks.
Turn that up. See you guys.